they can catch people out in silence. I think this is what the comp is strongest at. You have Fiora pushing, and then you just have Minji show up in this island as well. You get an easy pick, rinse and repeat, or you just run everyone from mid, you shove in mid, and then you run towards the side lane to close off kills. I think that's the best way to pilot this.
Speaking of running, Predator taken by Nesty as well. We know Nesty as a roaming mid laner, that ex-support player as well from all those days ago. Started Boots Clement. So get ready. Predator is going to come through early. And we've seen so many Gallios worldwide that don't even wait for 6, that literally try and get shoved early on. And at level 3, just run down to one of the sides.
The trend here is that they're also not bringing teleports anymore, just going straight for the ghost for even more move speed to run people down. But I'm a little bit curious where he's going to go in this situation because neither of his side lanes actually have crowd control. So he can join skirmishes, but they will have to be skirmishes that Beyond Gaming themselves can retain.
And there are also lanes that have a counter to Shield of Durand. Like, we have Spell Shield, we have Riposte as well, as a good little engage there as Wako gets himself lethal tempo procs and actually just ricochets the hell out of Chris Carter and Woody. But yeah, Clement, my point is, it's going to be hard to gank lanes that just press note buttons towards your crowd control itself.
Absolutely. So I feel like this is more skirmish oriented. What they're probably looking for is anchoring the Trundle. I think it's going to be more of a two-man game earlier on from DCG. They do have that just 1v1 power with the Trundle over the Wukong, and Nessie can follow up on that. So it's probably the idea for them. In the meantime, for Beyond Gaming, I also see this as a bit of a post-6 composition. I don't think any of the lanes have a ton of kill power. The bot lane is somewhere that maybe Fusha can sneak a kill earlier on, but that's pretty much it. So I actually expect a bit of a slow start here.
Well, it'll be one of our slowest games of today because I feel like we have had pretty quick games today, Clement. Like bloodthirsty, skirmish heavy. It's been nice because I always remember coming into PCS to cast and it was much slower than the LPL. It was, you know, paced out a little bit, and today has been quite the opposite. As you know, you said it would be slow, Clement, and you're actually right because Hana does not spot out Husha.
Yeah, probably knows that he's around that corner, but you know, so far, I would say Beyond Gaming actually have a little bit of a lead, just getting to know where Hana is and heading towards the top lane here as well. Meanwhile, checking in into the top side, League doing a really good job controlling the wave. He is behind by a little bit in terms of the minions, but if you look at his jungle pathing, Funnel's going towards the bottom side. He's perfectly safe in this situation, and honestly, this isn't really a lane that you can win easily against the Fiora. So if he's just even, it's kind of okay.
They're going to dive this, Clement. You know it's coming. Ward placed down in the nick of time, though. But Leaky, I mean, he's got a Vital against the wall, trying to hold off against that, but Grass comes through. Lakai underneath the turret, flashes, almost dies. Look at that health bar as first blood goes over to Husha. The minion, Galio, thumbs down, flash over, and done.
I like the colossal smash right there. A very, very nice exclamation mark put on that kill in the end. And I don't think it's, you know, I think overall it's too bad for the side of DCG. Yes, they do give up a kill, but it didn't land onto Husha. They got both summoners there, and the kill was traded back. So overall, I think DCG are just generally okay with that one.
Yeah, I mean, Nesty got the kill, like the ability to move out of your lane, Clement. Remember when I said we've seen a lot of Gallios move out even before 6?
Yeah.
I know that was the setup for BYG, but still, it's always nice to see Predator just pop. And the first time it brings in a kill, and we've got Lucidity Boots now here for Nesty in the mid lane with a Sapphire Crystal as well. And he's almost level 6, so we are getting to that 6 point for both teams when we start looking at that Weaver's Wall and the Hero's Entrance. But for now, let's look at the bottom side. Husha coming in, good dredge line onto Woody, but unfortunately Husha's already committed to the ward. So they'll back away while, yeah, Clement, we are probably about half away from 6 getting hit.
I do want to point out that Wako, somewhere along the line, actually lost his flash here. So,
oh yeah,
bot lane bot lane all in from DCG becomes a lot easier afterwards. They still need the jungle, I would say, to use the pillar and close off the kill, or else Wako probably has a very easy time at running away from this one. But without the flash, definitely going to be on the cards for DCG.
I'm just watching for level 6. Leaky hits Cannon Barrage as well. Another global element we need to worry about. But I was looking at Lakai because Lakai shouldn't be too far himself. As Hana's coming up to the top side to help out for that potential all-in. Lakai's now hit level 6 as he's low, but you can tell he wants to take this. However, Hana is now spotted on a ward. So Lakai's just going to have to back off, especially with Husha in the top side. Try to bait in this Trundle and waste his time.
Yeah, you know, Lakai does get the CS lead, but so far Gameplank actually is going to be forcing the TP here. Coming out from Lakai, and we do get our sort of slow run into the mid game coming down here. I'm very curious on...
Clement.
Huh?
It's 2 kills! It's 2 kills already! It's slow.
Oh, okay, it's not that slow.
Yeah, there you go. You go on.
I'm just wondering where Minji is going to find that first kill. I actually feel like both lanes are quite easy for him to execute on at this point. The problem is just that Galio is going to follow with the heroic entrance as well, so both of these champions are going to be moving at the same time, which does mean that the mid lane gank becomes that much more profitable, because you can easily turn a mid lane gank into a side lane gank right after.
True. The ability to be so flexible and move around. Dragon live there, so we'll start talking about the objectives, who goes towards it first, because Husha and Minji have synced up. It's just around blue buff, but there's good vision control right now for BYG over that bottom side Dragon, while Herald is actually going to be syncing up as well, considering it's up in about 20 seconds. However, for DCG, their top side control has been pretty nice with control ward throughout the river and vision in front of the neutral, but for now, BYG, it looks like they are setting up, Clement. As you said, we're going to start moving with Minji threatening in Fog of War.
Yep, Beyond Gaming have the shove into the bot side. They're just going to transfer that into the Drake. And because Nesty just went back, doesn't have TP, that should be a free take here. Doesn't look like DCG are even going to try and contest that one.
Things are going down from DCG up on the top side in the meanwhile. Probably thinking that that's going to be their trade-off, but as Husha and Minji walk on up, it looks like they got their eyes set on both of the time being as well. But you look at Woody, Clement. I mean, this Lulu, are you roaming? No. Okay, he's coming back far.
So DCG are going to trade away the Herald in this one, and the big question is if Beyond Gaming can find a gank into the bot lane. This is a 3v2 with Nautilus, so all they need to do is deny the Galio, and they should be able to successfully find a kill. Woody with a great ward catches out Husha here.
Yeah, now with the Weaver's Wall in as well. They don't really care though. Husha has himself the ulti, but as Minji comes in, Husha starts up the Krug camp, more focused on zoning rather than getting the kill. And BYG just give priority to Wako and Kino, but with that down, on the other side of the map, Hana's already begun his invade.
Yeah, there's no tools left anymore for the Talia to move in, so great move there by Woody. Once he gets the ward down, we saw Nesty instantly head towards the bottom side. He knows that as long as he keeps distance away from Minji and gets that heroic entrance in, then Beyond Gaming's dive is not going to work out. So, really smart move by him. Now all he needs to do is not get caught out in the river. Should be fine.
There you go. He's out, he's fine. Herald picked up by Hunter as well, by the way. So, this Trundle going to have a sizable CS lead in the jungle, while that ward's still placed down and not spotted out. So DCG will be able to track Husha, knowing that he's in this top side. Clement, you were right. I was wrong yet again here tonight. A little bit slower despite that kill, but I'm hoping something happens here as Leaky's been double procced for the vitals. Lakai getting good trades here now, especially with the Sheen and Caulfield picked up. Leaky trying, but Lakai is just getting that Fiora mode as with the Trundle coming in. He just lunged forward. Could be a mistake as Husha's still far away. Pillar, great, but Hana now has to run for his life. Husha is up in this top side, and Lakai is trying to taunt them on.
Yeah, that was a risky lunge from Leakai, but he makes it work straight through the pillar. And now he has to run away from Hana, though. Auto attacks.
Got the movement speed from the Vital as well, and takes the turret shot in the interim. Woody's up here too, by the way. but Hana's going to stop the play there. So Herald used to get a quick back while Lakai doesn't have a ward in that brush, but just going to play it safe for the time being. Chris Carter, meanwhile, with that support spot on the top side, they want to dive this, but Chris Carter has enough wave clear, so I guess he's okay.
Yep, and we do have a head start from Nesty over Minji, so they're backing off on that one. I'm a little bit surprised about the plays that DCG are making. I thought that they would try to prioritize the bottom lane, but instead they went top, gave Beyond Gaming another plate, and I don't think the game plank is really the focus here of this composition. Game plank is not supposed to get the side lane control over Flora anyway.
Timing. Oh, nick of it. Okay, well, are they going to push out bottom and get Herald plating? Maybe there's your focus, Clement.
Yeah.
There's your goal.
This is the play I expected from the start, actually, to go to the bot lane here with the scuttle. I just feel like Beyond Gaming are going to wait on a little while longer. This Talia really needs to get some use. So far, the Talia has been just bundled together with the Galio, and I would say Galio is a little bit stronger when it comes to play.
Hang on. We're going to get an ulti here, another vital. There's the grand challenge finally issued as Weaver's Wall's going to bring up some reinforcements. Seismic Shove means Leaky doesn't lose that last proc, and Lakai with an added attempt. Minji's Weaver's Wall, part 2, doesn't do too much, but at least they get Leaky's Splash. Now Kino's in trouble. There's lightning crash down. Dreadline going to get him out, but the depth charge onto Woody. It's not onto Chris Carter. It's a cannon barrage helping out so much. Kino glad he doesn't go back in there, as he surely would have fallen. It's going to open up the bottom turret though, Clement, and for DCG, bringing the game into a bit of momentum now with the reverse play.
Yeah, Ninja showing on the map there was a very clear signal for DCG to just go bottom lane. They know that there is no Weaver's Wall there. They have the numbers advantage. The only thing Beyond Gaming can do is actually run, and they were caught out in River. They're honestly ventured way too far forward. So I think Beyond Gaming's game plan so far has not been working out. They've been bleeding out in the bot lane quite hard, despite DCG actually, focusing on top in a couple of instances here. So I just see DCG having a very smooth time going into these objective fights. They have Frescata that does have a bit of a CS lead, not a massive one, but a small lead coming into the bottom side. I would say the game currently DCG favorite.
Look at the replay again though, Clement, because well timed from Hana and almost getting a full-on trade here on the support.
Yeah, Kino almost goes back to his death. I'm kind of curious about that one. Usually it's the instinct of players to just dodge abilities, but in that case, getting hit wouldn't have been such a bad idea.
Again, a replay because it's only 2 kills in 13 minutes. We saw the dive top side from Nesty, but he's been pretty quiet outside of that. The Weaver's Walls, as we said, Minji shows, response from DCG, at least attempting. You said it was DCG favored. I will put the caveat in, Clement, that BYG at least have 2 dragons. And I wanted to ask you a little bit about late game scaling, how this all coincides. Because with the early game being so slow, I just want to know how it progresses with pretty big scaling elements on both teams.
Yeah, I think the big question really is how well Leakai can pilot this Fiora. That is the one that has no answer on the opposing side. It's almost impossible for the game plan to actually win out in this matchup if it goes to full items here. But this is what Beyond Gaming can do. This is why I feel like the game isn't so much hinged on scaling, but how each side plays, because they're really looking for very different things. DCG have the better setup team fight. They have better choke control coming in with the barrels. They have the pillar to make these exits a lot harder to reach, and they also have Criscata, which outranges Sivir. So I feel like DCG do have the better objective setup fight, but Beyond Gaming have the better split push and the better side catch. That's what each side are going to be good at. And I think the game will revolve more and more around how well Leakai can split members from DCG.
I mean, he's doing well in the lane, but still, Leaky's caught up quite a lot when... Remember, early part in, it was about 15 CS lead, but the pressure added in top side here from DCG has meant that Leaky's been able to catch up and even find himself a bit of a CS lead. His second Herald is going to be the fight over now. BYG bringing everyone up, but Clement, you said in a 5v5. For DCG, setting up around a team fight, looking pretty promising.
Yeah, for Beyond Gaming to win, they really need that first kill and to
Weaver's Wall.
get Leakai out.
but no one's hitting the Herald. No one's hitting the Herald. The eye is exposed for now. BYG move on in. Smite comes down, and Husha gets it. That wall on the neutral might have just turned it as Nesty pops the ghost, but Barrel chains out. Leaky doesn't get anything done as Lakai now moves inside to shove. Absolutely fantastic as Nesty runs on in, but he's got no support for now. Flashes out of the way. Justice punches in to a Cyclone. DCG have just been picked off as Minji runs first forward. Chris Carter with the Electro Shard. If I can get my words out, I'd tell you that Beyond Gaming just outclassed DCG in that fight.
Beautiful stuff coming right there. The seismic shove was the most critical thing right there for Minji to find on top of Nesty. The way Nesty wanted to play that teamfight was he wanted to kite for Gameplink and the Zeri, so he was just acting as a cog in front of his carries. Unfortunately, the seismic shove found him, took him way out of position, and that also meant the backline from DCG couldn't dish out the damage that they wanted to. The Grand Challenge went over, heal up all of the cloak. Watch that again. Great use of the Weaver's Wall from shot to just find that alone time with Shelly in the middle of the river. They get the spike down. And we're going to watch the most critical part of the fight here, which is Nesty being isolated from the rest of the team. The fight was okay until that point. They could have kited out. They could have waited for a couple more skill rotations. But Minji with the seismic shove getting Woody forces Nesty to walk forward. And I don't think he wanted to do that move. With him down, they just easily get the healing back.
Minji being so aggressive on this Talia as well. So a really good weave as well sets up the success of the BYG. Gold is even, and that's saying something considering that they were falling behind in gold, considering this GP side has been going pretty well. And Clement, we've got a Dragon coming up in about 50 seconds as well. They've got a Herald to get one of these lanes, maybe even mid, broken down. For BYG, of course, they've already broken down mid lane turret, so they're going to be looking for the outer down bottom.
Just a straight drop here. This is great lane allocation from Beyond Gaming. They have basically a free lane where Galio can never roam out of against the Fiora. Bot lane, they're already charging down with Shelly right here. Good find here by Leaky, but I don't think they're going to be able to prevent a second charge coming in, so huge win by Beyond Gaming.
Looking for the Weaver's Wall. At the very least, they're actually going to force them off, so that Weaver's Wall again, Minji just using for the neutral objectives. That'll give them the gold surcharge, and Beyond Gaming now move to the Dragon here, but Clement, there is no Weaver's Wall, which is worth mentioning for this fight.
I don't really think they need it so far. Beyond Gaming definitely looking at the ramp control here. The key thing is, of course, Beyond Gaming just need to focus down one target. If they get one, that's good enough for the healing to kind of carry them through the rest, even against a Dragon.
2k, 1k, they're forced up, and Hana now just given the smite as Cannon Barrage just zoned them off. Kino taking a chunk of damage as he flash depth charges here. Hana knocked into the walls. BYG try to build that space again, but DCG walked in, took the Dragon, stopped the stacking, and but beyond they were unable to get a trade. As onto the blue buff, Minji sticking around. He's up against the wall. No one walking forward from DCG. Not confident enough, not knowing where the rest of the team are. And with this aggression, Clement, I mean, they're just moving to mid lane. Turret off the back of it.
That was such beautiful use of zone control against Beyond Gaming. They drop the Cannon Barrage, force everyone back, and when the re-engage comes in, the pillar in the middle of that Cannon Barrage range, you force people to walk into barrels as well. That was really nicely done by DCG. You can tell Beyond Gaming didn't have a chance to close in on the Infernal, and they have to hand the third Drake over to DCG, breaking their own soul chain.
All right. Now, in this reasonably slow game, 20 seconds till Baron. Clement, I'm going to ask you about setting up for sides here. Minji's already been doing that quite a lot. He's, in fact, the one splitting on the side. But Beyond Gaming and kind of moving around. And I remember you talking a lot about this pick and playing these lanes. It feels like they've got a pretty good read right now, hovering around one of them with the other three-man core that isn't the Fiora, isn't the Talia.
Yeah, I actually like what they're doing here. They're giving Fiora a lot of space to just farm up on the top side. And the way they're doing it is they're basically getting a 2-for-1 on Leakai's part. If they can match him against either Leaky or Nesty, they can force him back and force a response from someone else to come, or he starts taking chip damage on turret. Especially when they can get Leakai versus Nesty, that's a massive win for them.
Yeah. As you said, a lot of it comes down to the Fiora in the side lane. Lakai is a level behind, with Leaky doing pretty well so far, as whenever the observer zooms in, I think something's about to happen. They do have future vision. They can also see the minimap, as can we all, as the bottom lane was moving down to try and make something happen. The rest of DCG sit on top side, but Husha and Kino now going in pretty aggressive. Waiting. There's a pillar. Okay, a spectator bug comes in as Cyclone as well. Nesty gets a taunt on the Kino, but they've gone deep for this Minji's Weaver's Wall again. Layers off the river. Going golden in the nick of time as Hana's pillars forcing flashes now. BYG taking a hefty chunk, and Trundle with good pillars, Clement. There just isn't anything like it.
Great use of the funnel right there. Minji oversteps his bounds, gets instantly punished. And I think this is the strength of a kiting combo. This is probably one of the best kind of examples of how you can play zone control and kiting. Yep. You make it really difficult for an enemy to escape. You make it hard for them to engage. And the way that Beyond Gaming have to play against this, I think in the late game, is either they catch side lanes with Leakai's lane, or they have Leakai TP in at a flank angle. If the pillar is dropped in one ramp, then Leakai has to come in at a different angle to reach that backline. So we have to see if Beyond Gaming can pull this off. This is what they were known for, especially with Leakai in the Machi days. He was a great flanker in that regard. So we'll see if he can still showcase those abilities.
Gotta love the fact that, you know, we're approaching this 4th dragon, and what we've seen so far is Minji trying to use this Weaver's Wall every which way he can. 2 items on this Talia, 2 items on this Galio. Both these mid laners who have these semi-globals now have ways of, I was going to say delaying the fights. One, delaying the fight, Clement here, Nesty, Zhonya's, but one also getting more seismic shoves, more rotations here with the ability haze coming from Seraph's Embrace that's fully stacked. So we are getting to the 2-item point across the board pretty much. I didn't even look at Leaky. We're getting a collector third here from this GP. None of that bruiser nonsense from Gangplanks. We're getting the one-shot build.
You gotta love that one. And he has plenty of low armor targets that are gonna walk into barrel range. So I like the build coming out here. The Talia and the Sivir definitely gonna be vulnerable to that one. And DCG are on the objective first this time, which means that Beyond Gaming, they need some creative use of getting Leakai into the backline. So far, he's standing just right on top of a ramp. Very easy to pick off.
But Kino wasn't spotted. Husha may have been, but this Nautilus just sat there and waited as Leaky with a barrel chain to zone out. Chris Carter's dealing with mid-wave as that control ward. Okay, thank you for the 30 gold. And another one placed in front of Dragon. DCG want to start this up, but 3rd Dragon would lead to sole point here for BYG. As Leaky needs a bit of setup here, Clement, as Minji's in the back.
I like what Leakai's doing here. Oh, and it was just a bait with
just watch, flash. Oh, Hana close.
Sivir.
It was secured by Wako, and Nesty flashing in, but shields around. A good cannon barrage. Zone control, he doesn't get the Zhonya's. DCG's mid laner dead as they trade off Kino and Lakai. Now out of the fight, but Husha, the Cyclone, brings in the warm weather. And BYG, now it's a sunny day as Woody wants to go back to Andy's house, but he's got to grow up quick, Clement. It's not Toy Story 1, 2, 3, or 4. It's Toy Story 5.
It's the one where they go into the trash melting thing, you know? Like, I think that was the 3rd one. But very tragic end for DCG there. I think there was a couple of problems in that one. It came down to the fact that Beyond Gaming were able to snipe out Nesty that earlier on. There was no one for Nesty to actually use as an anchor, so he had to go in himself on that one. 2 early flashes in from their front line. They get bursted immediately, and the turnaround is just there. So we'll watch this again. Good use of Minji and Leakai there. They really pulled the wool over DCG. We have the flash from Hana that doesn't result in a kill, and then the go button being spun here. Early flash coming in by Nesty, but he gets brought down by the seismic shove. And then Leakai, with such a smart move, he takes so much damage initially, pops over the wall. Husha then goes in, and Leakai comes back in. So a lot of good just in and out teamfight decisions, a lot of good focused fire that make Beyond Gaming's life so much easier.
Look at Minji's damage. I mean, Talia hit everything. Minji has been a really nice return from a player I honestly didn't expect to see when Senbon fit the bill so perfectly. And for BYG, having 007 down there doing his thing, 3-item Sivir now. You look at the rest of the members, you look at how much gold they absorbed from that last fight, Clement, as well as Soul Point thanks to Wako's auto. And BYG now in a very comfortable position in this game against our first place team that I honestly thought had an easier schedule to round out. I guess not when BYG shape up like this. Minji, again, great wall.
Yep, just easy pick off again and again. And I feel like the problem here is DCG, they don't have any scenarios where they can force team fights where Beyond Gaming have to run into them. What we've seen is that Minji has been able to preemptively wall off sections of the river, get Beyond Gaming into position, and DCG, they're not an engage comp. They're a composition that relies on kiting, that forces the enemy to engage with them, but right now, you don't have that damage from Kriskala to really make Beyond Gaming have to run into them, and they also don't have the engage to keep them there.
BYG looking for a pick off the wing though, as Lakai is still the target. Leaky and Hana trooping up as Seismic Shove doesn't connect, but he almost dies. Leaky lucky to be alive here as Lakai tries to get priority over the wave, but it's cleared out. Baron buff has got 45 seconds, Clement, and even though minions are channeling through the mid-wave, sides right now is where they're going to pick their battle as all 4 members sit top while Lakai just picks another lane.
And this forces DCG, if they want to play it, they have to engage.
And here we go, the shot comes down. Chris Carter's going to start poking them down. Depth charge slows him on the hunt, going to give them the movement speed to get out as well. So Chris Carter might have his own ulti, but Wako shares his with friends.
This is so hard to find an engage here. Even the pillar actually gives, allows the passive here over Talia. So I'm just trying to think of how DCG actually want to hold on to these towers. It doesn't seem like they can punish the 4-1 from Beyond Gaming. It almost requires like a wild growth flash for something to keep people down. It's so hard to execute for DCG.
I would like to see this fight in 50 seconds with good setup for DCG, yep. Clement. Nesty's ultimate. First. How many times have you seen Nesty ulti this game?
None. I don't think I've seen one.
Neither have I. It's because we haven't seen one. We've seen Nesty force his flash, or Ghost, or Predator, or all 3 at once, and get a shielded Duran. That's been the focus. While the rest of DCG try to follow up, but here we go again. Husha setting up over the wall. Hunter with a pillar to catch him on the way out, but as they poke down the members of DCG, this dragon is spawning in 15 seconds, and it's an infernal for a Talia. You cannot give that away.
Absolutely not. DCG have to force their way in. I'm looking at flashes for potential anchor points here. Hana still has his subjugate. Nesty rushing in first.
Okay, well, Nesty first as he goes golden. He's in the middle of everything. Flashes away, but he's ticking down. He's dead. Nesty having an unusually bad game. The DCG are now down a member. They're on this neutral, but the Weaver's Wall zones off, so Hana is by himself, Leaky with a cannon barrage, but Beyond Gaming are on this, and they've got a Sivir in the middle. Wako is ricocheting like there's no tomorrow. He's bending it like Beckham, while Beyond pull out the Infernal Dragon. This is their game now, and DCG are just living in their world.
Absolutely. At no time should Nest be trying to engage like that. I feel like they needed to coordinate with Hana. It had to be Hana flash into heroic entrance. I think any other way would have been far too risky. Nesty, even with the Zanyas, just dies instantly. Doesn't get the peel for his team. Doesn't get to do much of anything before falling down. And Beyond Gaming, they're just punishing DCG's lack of engage potential to the full extent here. We're going to watch this fight again. Nesty runs in, gets tagged by Kino, and just look at this. It doesn't get Winds of Wards down, has to run away instantly and dies by the ricochet. Like, what actually did Nesty do in that team fight? I don't think he did anything. Like, they need to have smarter.
I mean, Clement, there's been a real mid-diff this game. So easy to say. Yeah. Minji's first couple of walls were invasive, but not, as reputable. And then, nice engage by Kino. But Minji's walls in these neutral, in front of turrets, have just been on point. Damage as well, great as Nesty didn't even get to hit anyone.
0, wow.
A big fat donut here for the mid laner, and Nesty was our week 5 MVP. He was our star player from last week. This is a very different game, a very different feeling from that week 5 MVP.
Yeah, I'm not sure about a pure kite comp Galio. That one seems to be a bit of a red flag to me. Usually you can run this comp if you have something like a Cosma that guarantees you range advantage, but Kriskata doesn't really fill that role just yet. Sure, it's 850 range on the burst fire, but it's a skill shot. It's not all that guaranteed. You do need to walk up a little bit closer to find those shots, and I feel like what they need to do is actually just use Hana as an anchor point. Have Hana flash forward, let him be.
Weaver's wall's coming in from the back. Look, it's zoned off again. Minji, absolute MVP performances. Leaky's damage over the wall is huge. Nesty wants to go in, but he doesn't have any summons from the last fight. They're burnt down with the burst, and now that they're forced away, Beyond Gaming with the health bars, it's DCG threatening the Baron here for a potential comeback play.
And that's the difference when Beyond Gaming have to run into DCG. They can set up so much more. The barrels, the taunt shields here.
Wacko, all that spell shield, great timing here. Look at the flank, Minji caught out, dead. Nesty jumps on him as now finally it's coming together. Beyond Gaming have to burn their flash in the top lane as Nesty with the just punch shield is around Lakai. Surviving though! Pusha! The massive turnaround! And Wacko, you called it, Mr. Clement Chew. He's the father of the fight. Ricochet in a choke. Oh, that's dirty stuff. As Lakai TP's in, just as it starts looking good for DCG. Beyond Gaming slap our first place team. Give them a huge soap and move up to 9 wins. This is the BYG we've been waiting for.
DCG dethroned in the matter of a split second right there. Nika with a great stopwatch, baits everyone into the funnel, and then Wacko decimates all of them. This fight is, I think it really showcases the difference between what team comps are made to do. Like, this composition cannot run forward and try to engage with people. It's way too clumsy, it's way too slow, gives a lot of reaction time for the enemy to plan things out. Even with Beyond Gaming losing Minji, without doing anything, to be honest, they still win the fight. They still are able to just outrun